and gentlemen. Give it up for Lynn. Get on up here, Lynn.
I will not be stricken. Last thing my great-granddaughter needs to hear. Anyway, yeah, my name's Len. I always think of these things as sort of anti-12 steps. My name's Len, and I really want to keep on being a writer. Apropos of almost Valentine's Day, a couple of prose, short prose poems sort of things. The first one's called Looking Forward. The man looks across the room at the woman. She was beautiful, wasn't quite the word. Limited to appearance in too many ways. Perfect carried too much expectation. Making him happy? Yes, that was what she was, which meant he was heart-swelling happy, like blissful sex or a crystal winter's evening. His whole being was firmly rooted in this moment. The woman turned in her chair, gestured to a person across the room to join them, then another, and still more others. When a crowd of men and women was arranged behind her, she turned back to the man and spoke. Honey, I want you to meet some people. This is Mike, pointing to a tall man with a guitar case slung over his shoulder. When I meet him next week, I'll be dumping you like a bag of used cat litter. That's what I did to George here when I met you. And she indicated an executive that I may have. You can go away now, George. Thanks. And let's see. These are Joe, Tina, Norma, Ben, and, another Mike. No particular order. They'll all be sharing my bed at some point in the coming years. Some of them at the same time, I'm going to say. She waved vaguely at the group, looked at them. A couple of you, I can't remember your name right now. I'm really sorry, but it'll probably come to me. You're just what's called a representative sample, remember, so this sort of thing's bound to happen. Ashen-faced, trembling, the man continued to look across the table at the woman. He couldn't bear to look at the people she'd called over. But, he spoke, I thought we were in love. Doesn't the time we've been together mean anything to you? Well, of course, she replied. He smiled happily. Please, don't get me wrong. 20 years from now, I'll grin like the Cheshire Cat when I think about you. And you'll be one of only 2 or 3 who'll remember me much at all. Listen, and she reached across the table to touch his hand, keep his attention. Listen, I'm really looking forward to these next few days. Anti-Valentine's Day. And we won't say anything about it as it was. The other piece, let's see, almost 2 years ago now. I wrote this for my wife on our 44th anniversary.
Wow.
Hey, I earn a lot of brownie points with women because I know everything about our first date, including when it was, what she wore. That's how I've stayed married so long. Anyway.
Where's your brother?
Where's my brother? He's in divorce court over his 3rd wife.
Okay, well, you got all the marriage points.
I think so, yes. And with 3 daughters, 2 of our grandkids are girls, and we have a great-granddaughter. I'm so outnumbered, I know how to behave.
There you go.
Yeah, let's face it. Thank you. Thank you. I'll make sure my wife sees this. Here's these applause. Anyway, this is called Running Errands. John and Marcia sit in their car, trying to decide where to go for lunch. It's Sunday, so hot dogs are out, unless you want to go to the other side of town, he says. Reaching into her purse, she pulls out some coupons. Not necessarily. We've got Billy's Club, Dharma Buns, and gyros over at Kismet. Or we can always, and she begins to rummage through her purse. John waits on the edge of the incomplete sentence. Sounds of traffic from the highway flow through the windows, the rumble of a passing semi, the muted wail of distant sirens marking the low and high ranges. Someone honks their car's horn as soon as the light turns green, hurrying to get somewhere far less important than they imagine. A clattering shopping cart from the fabric store across the lot strikes a discordant percussion beat, then halts in a metallic crash of cart against cart in the corral. They've been married for 42 years, 3 children, 6 grandchildren. The pauses come more frequently these days, with both of them contributing their share. He reaches to touch the back of her hand with his, and in the eye blink before Marcia resumes her sentence, John's heart smiles as he realizes how lucky he is. That is not Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. All the good ones are taken.
Yeah, my wife is taken.
Oh, that is the crap you're supposed to say.
Oh, well, you know.
And so now I have to do the test on it because I'm married to John. When was our first date?
January?
He called
We
me.
have a debate